We are going to go to Peter Dutton. He's speaking live now in Bondi Junction in Sydney's eastern suburbs at a synagogue, obviously in solidarity with the Jewish population there, and solidarity with the New South Wales Premier, who's looking to strengthen laws against anti-Semitism. Also comes as the release of those hostages happened overnight, and that fragile ceasefire holding. He's also been asked about many economic matters as we kick off this election year as well. Let's listen in live.
Provide support to their staff and customers, help them grow their business, and it will be an economic boon for those small businesses, particularly cafes and restaurants at the moment who are doing it tough. Don't forget that 26,000 small businesses have failed under the Albanese government over the course of the last 2.5 years. And behind every one of those 26,000 businesses is somebody who's lost their house, lost their life savings, lost their job, lost their sense of being. And I don't believe that that's in the best interest of our country. So we'll have a lot more to say about how we can help people in small business over the course of the coming campaign. Happy to take any questions.
Mr Dutton, you pointed to tougher sentencing as a manner to address growing rates of anti-Semitism, but there's also the broader issue of social cohesion. I guess how would a coalition government address what appears to be growing levels of division in our society?
Well, what we needed from our Prime Minister in response to this national crisis was strength of leadership, and he just hasn't provided that. We do want social cohesion. We want the rule of law to be enforced. We want people, regardless of their religious belief or no religious belief at all, regardless of their political inclinations, regardless of their heritage, we want every Australian to be treated equally. And I think the point that Peter was making before is an incredibly powerful one, that this is not just an attack on the Jewish community, this is an attack on every Australian. And it's the Jews today, who next? And if we look back through the course of history, when good people don't stand up and provide support to those who are in need, then the downward spiral continues. And there can be no social cohesion in our country when the Prime Minister is incapable of responding to a national crisis. And it's only the Prime Minister's pride at the moment that's standing between him and a decision that he can make to convene a national cabinet. If not now, when, Prime Minister? We're seeing the firebombing of cars. We're seeing people doxed. We're seeing children going to school protected by armed guards. If now is not the time for a national cabinet, when is it? When is the Prime Minister going to stand up and provide the leadership that the country craves at the moment? And for every day that the Prime Minister abrogates his responsibility and continues this weakness, our country continues to suffer. And that's not something that we're going to tolerate. And we've, I think, been very clear in the announcements that we've made today that we will have zero tolerance from day one. And we will do whatever it takes to restore social cohesion and the rule of law, and to have people like the family we spoke to this morning, who have lived peacefully in the same home in our country for 60 years. And I want them and their children and their grandchildren to enjoy that same peace and tranquility, not what people have experienced over the course of the last 15 months.